Okay, well, let's start off with Saturday. Obviously, a disappointing result and performance, particularly in that second half when you got yourself into a lead. How do you kind of move on now from that? Is it a case of working harder in training? Is it having very honest conversations in training this week?
Yeah, I mean, we've certainly gone down the honest conversations route because I think, obviously we did some good stuff and put ourselves in a good position to go on and win the game. And, as I said after the game, there was some clocking off and we've looked at that and that's something, I heard Willie talking about it just as I came up then. That's something, I think that's a bit of growth in some of our younger, less experienced guys, just to understand that this game is an 80-minute game, and in the Premiership, if you clock off, it can be a 7-point costing for you, which it did a couple of times to us on the weekend.
I don't know how aware you are of kind of supporters' messages after games. Reading some of them, many are losing faith a little bit, unhappy with what they're seeing. What would your message be to them?
Well, look, my message would be we've stripped everything back, and as I've said before, we've done some massive changes in the background. The squad is very different to what it was previously, and we're working extremely hard to pull it all together and make strides that we think will be sustainable and successful in the future. I think no one could be working any harder, no one could be more focused, but these things take time, and would we love it to happen tomorrow? Would we love to be winning the games that we've missed out on, the last few weeks? Absolutely. But in terms of a process, we're very process driven. We knew there'd be some pain to suffer. Is it fun going through the pain? No. But it's the reality of it. So that's where we're at the moment, and everyone's on board and working extremely hard, and hopefully the tide will turn and we'll get some results.
And is there a confidence thing here? Because if you're winning games week on week, you have that confidence. If you're in a tricky situation, you can get out of it probably a little bit easier. When the results aren't going your way, is it a bit more difficult to get those confidence levels up?
Well, I think that's always the challenge of sport. It's an emotional game, and you invest a huge amount of energy physically and mentally into it, and then sometimes the bounce of the ball, or as I say, someone clocking off can swing the game, and you've got to be able to adjust to that. So of course, if you're top of the league, you're more confident than if you're at the bottom. But in terms of confidence in the process and what we're trying to do, the players are on board, and the players have taken a really good lead this week on driving that home. But absolutely, it's a different mindset when you're top or bottom.
And are you happy with what the players are doing on the pitch? Are they doing what you want them to do, or is it a case of just not executing it well enough?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, they're doing exactly what we're practicing in the week. But we're not executing it perfectly, obviously, because that's where we're getting caught out. And I think that's the frustration in when you're trying to create something is, like I say, we'd love to say we'd execute everything and be perfect, but it's going to take time, and as I say, we're not quite there yet.
Yeah, and you mentioned, you talked about people clocking off after the game. I guess you can do so much in training to improve that, but it's got to be the big decisions on the pitch actually, and that's down to the players to execute that on the day.
Yeah, of course, but as you say, we've got to give them the tools to do it, and we've got to create training scenarios that present as many different opportunities as we can and stress them as much as we can. And so we're working extremely hard to do that. We thrash it out as coaches and with the leaders of the team and say, look, this is a scenario, what would we do here? And we do it in training, and ultimately a couple of times we've not quite got it right, and in the Premiership the margins are so small. You get one little bit wrong and it's a difference in you scoring or them scoring. So we'll keep working extremely hard, and then the harder you work, hopefully the more of those plays go your way than don't.
One big plus of the week, and obviously having Willie back, and we've obviously just heard from him. Fantastic having him back on the pitch, and I guess from a leadership point of view as well, such a key part of the squad. Yeah,
he is, absolutely, and I think it's great to see him playing again. I thought he was brilliant for the amount of time he's had out to come on and play like that. I thought it was great, and obviously the big thing for us is having him out on the training pitch, and the young lads understanding what it takes to be a top nine, which is invaluable. If you're around it, you can grow off it and learn. So great to have Willie back out. He's cool, calm, composed, and he's a great leader.
As you said, there's no easy games. London Irish now this weekend. From your point of view, are you looking forward to going back to your old club?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing the stadium because I never actually saw it. So, I mean, look, I was a part of building what they are, where they are now, and over a good few years, and I've got a lot of friends there, and I look forward to seeing them face to face, you know, and I look forward to getting stuck in and having a good game of rugby, hopefully.
Yeah, and obviously you have a good insight. You know, you will know a lot of the players there. Has that been an advantage this week?
Well, I think, yeah, obviously I know the players, and I you know, there's a few new faces in there, but for the most part, yeah, I know the players, but I don't think so. I mean, you know, you do enough analysis on any team, you can sort of understand how they're going to play. Breaking them down and stopping it is a completely different, you know, side of it. And obviously we do that, but I think where we are right now in terms of growth of a team, we need to focus on ourselves more than anything.
Yeah, and obviously they come off the back of a good win against Newcastle as well. So I mean, they're certainly going to be confident coming into the game. Yeah,
they're playing great rugby, and as I say, you know, I was a part of that process of going through the last few years and getting there. And you know, a few years ago it was pretty painful work at Irish, you know, getting the process and the foundations in place, and now they're really prospering off that period, and they're in good form, and you know, I expect they'll do good things this year. But yeah, it's as I say, from our point of view, it's very much about focusing on Gloucester.
Yeah, so just sum up from me, I guess it's the message to people is you know, give us time. We're building something here.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's, you know, that message doesn't change week to week. You know, we obviously there's always going to be different issues throw themselves up in games, and we can talk about them and discuss them. But say at the very beginning of this process, we knew the squad looked different, we knew the coaching staff looked different. We sat down and said, right, do we go for an approach where we just tick along and try and change, or do we just rip it up and go with the processes we believe in the long run will be successful, and start getting the young Gloucester lads on the pitch at different stages and start, you know, doing something that can go forward? And we've chosen to do that. And as I say, we sat as a group and said this will be painful. You know, it will always, these things will always come with a little bit of stone throwing, and that's where you've got to be strong in what you believe is right. And as I say, that's where we strip it back, look at the process. Are we on track? You know, different things get thrown up all the time, injuries. You know, we've had one or two public things, obviously not expecting, and that's the nature of the beast. But we're going through the process we knew we'd go through, and as I say, you know it's going to be painful. Does it make it any less painful knowing what you're doing? No, it doesn't. It's hard work, and that's the nature of the beast. And but as I say, as a group, we're very process driven. So you know, you have your emotion, and then you've got to sit back and work it out and keep pushing forward. So yeah, that's where we're at.